But now we want to get into the stress points. So, what are some of those areas where people are going to have a hard time? Not you, but your personal representatives, your heirs, your families. Where are they going to have a hard time? And these are the stress points. Number one is family dynamics. So, anyone here been through probate before? Raise your hand. You've been through probate as an heir or a personal representative. Okay, if you, I don't, I got some hands. Okay, so I got 4 hands. Okay, now hands down, of those of you that have been through probate before, so of those that have been through probate before, take your hands down. How many of you came out of probate after probate was done? You had a more friendly, loving, enjoyable, agreeable relationship with your family members than you had when you started probate. Your relationship with your family members was better after going through probate than it was before you started. Any hands? It was better. And I don't see any hands. Okay, so how many of you, your relationship was a little bit worse? I'm not talking about bad. It could have been completely bad, but I'm just saying worse. 4 hands. So 4 hands went up that have gone through probate before. 4 hands went up saying that your relationship with family members was worse. I've been through probate twice. Our relationship as a family, not everybody, but different family members, was worse after each probate process than it was going in. There's always someone that feels shorted, gypped, like one person pulling too much weight, not enough weight, different things like that. So relationships and the family dynamics can be a major stress point. And this is an area that you want to be able to solve for. Next is the legal and the accounting overwhelm, especially for those that are going through it alone. If they hire an attorney, at least they can get some of the legal process off of their plate and not be so overwhelmed. But I find nationwide that about 70% of people that go through probate go through it with an attorney, and about 30% try to do it alone. In some areas, that could be 50-50, right? So the legal overwhelm can just be massive. And then they get to the point where they have to do taxes. And taxes are normally that area that they put off until the very end of probate, 13 months later, and they realize that they messed something up in the beginning, and now they have to fix it. So the accounting overwhelm can really pile on. It can be quite overwhelming. And sometimes the legal part starts to be overwhelming in the beginning, and the accounting overwhelm starts to be overwhelming at the end. Standard maintenance and repairs to an inherited property. Just imagine this. You're the personal representative responsible for making sure that a house is cleaned out, the gutters are cleaned, the grass is cut, things like that. And you live out of state. You're 3 hours away. Imagine Mike. Go put yourself in my agent's shoes. 5 hours every other week, having to drive to DC, battling that Northern Virginia traffic and DC traffic to clean out a house. That's a monster inconvenience for those that are out of state. And I would say those that are just on the other side of the city that you live in, big inconvenience. So this can be a major overwhelm factor for the people that are going through it. Personal property distribution and management. So the personal property, what are they going to do with it? Susie wants this dining room set, but so does Mary and so does Bob. They fight over the dining room set. So who's going to get the personal property? How are they going to divide that up? And then last is real estate management. So real estate management, not real estate sales, real estate management. Does one family expect that they're going to get the house? My cousins, my grandfather passed away. My cousins expected that they were going to get the house. And they just expected that it was going to be just given to them, even though they weren't really part of the will. That was my father and my aunt. And the cousins thought that the house needed to be theirs. Well, you going to buy it? No, we thought we could just move in. So that happens a lot. So one family member thinks that they're owed the property, that they should be able to move in. Maybe someone was caretaking at the property and they don't move out. The caretaker for my grandfather's property that he was living in before he passed away hasn't moved. It's been 3, 4, 5 years. My goodness, it's been 5 years and the caretaker hasn't moved yet. So managing the real estate and the person that's living there, managing who gets what portion, when it gets refinanced, when it gets sold, all these things are decisions that the family needs to make, and it can cause stress. So I want you guys to be aware of these stress points, and these stress points are where you are going to get your business.